This is a new build that we've been working on for over 3 years. Basically, there was a house on the property existing that we tore down. We worked with Ian Robertson Architecture to draw up plans for the new build, and Napier Valley Construction to bring it to life, who happens to be their neighbor. And yeah, it's been a labor of love for over 3 years. The vibe overall, we didn't know almost until the very end in terms of how to describe it. They wanted this light, airy, wispy, LA coastal, relaxed vibe that basically when they came home from work, their blood pressure would go down. They both have busy, busy days. They want to have a place where all of their family can gather, and they want to come home and just feel relaxed. As you tour through the home, you'll start to see connecting threads and connecting elements, but nothing is bold or striking. You have to kind of get to know the space and get intimate with it to see all of those pretty little details. So if we start in the great room, the first thing that hits you is the double-story vaulted ceilings. It's quite grand. And in order to warm that up, we put some of the hardwood floor on the ceiling. When you have a large space like this, you need to compensate with scale in terms of your lighting. And so when you're not doing one oversized fixture, sometimes a grouping of 3 does the trick. So we chose these 3, we call them the sailboats, and it just adds to that wispy feel. We did the higher kind of media unit that we had slabbed all out in quartz, and then white oak drawers that have a push latch to opens for extra storage and just a little bit of a display area. And if you look at the fireplace, it's again double story, but it looks almost like drywall from afar. As you get closer and closer to it, you see that it's actually like hand-troweled plastered finish, and you start to see that texture. You can only push a homeowner so far, and her comfort zone and her happy place is monochromatic. We were able to sneak in a little bit of a blue pillow and a little bit of a blue ottoman. We framed out the windows in white linen. We have kind of a white cream wool rug, a high performance white sectional. And you'll see throughout there's a little hint of color in every space, but again, just a whisper of color. The dining room, that's the space that kind of connects the great room with the kitchen. And this is the space they're going to come to gather every night for dinner and for breakfast. This table, although it seats 10 day to day, actually extends to 22 people. They'll have family gatherings here. And so the lighting needed to be appropriate, and we wanted something a little bit special there. So we went with these oversized woven pendants from Muskoka Living, and I think they look really great. They have a full wine cellar in the basement of the cabana, but we wanted to have something else. It's not temperature controlled, so it's just kind of your everyday table wine that they can grab, and they're having salad or pasta, pour themselves a glass of wine, and it's easy access. It's kind of a special sunny spot where they sit down and have their morning coffee, they read the newspaper. At the end of the day, they come together, and it feels, although it's part of the main space, like it's its private little nook. In the kitchen, we had a white oak perimeter. We were able to sneak in a little bit of that olive green on the island, and if you look at the slabs we chose for the island, the perimeter, and the backsplash, it has just a whisper of that olive green running through it. And so again, it kind of takes some time to just look at the different elements and see how it all connects. It may not slap you in the face when you first walk in, but they're there. One of the connecting threads in these spaces is this black iron. So we have it on the wine cellar here, we have it on the hood, we have it surrounding the windows, we have it on the curtain rod. So it's, again, something that we've just sprinkled through the space. You'll see it repeated on the faucets as well. And I think it just gives a nice piece of jewelry to the kitchen. The pendants were a journey. We ordered the pendants over a year ago, and in the end, they never arrived. And so we had to find a substitute, and we found these ones, again, mixing the black and the gold, and I think we were all happy with the result. So if you look at the kitchen, it's really not that crazy huge compared to the size of the home, but what makes it functional and what makes it clean and simple is that we have these other spaces. So we have a prep kitchen, which takes you out into the outdoor barbecue zone, and then we have a pantry that connects behind for things that aren't so pretty, that can be hidden away, more appliances, an extra fridge, a coffee maker, things like that. And I think it's a really nice space.
Hi, I'm Jillian Atkins, and we're taking a brief pause away from your house tour to thank our sponsor, Caesarstone. We're here at their showroom, checking out what's new in porcelain. So why would we choose porcelain?
Porcelain for countertops is something that's very new, and it's specifically engineered to be for countertops, so it's super durable, heat resistant, and also scratch resistant. Porcelain's high heat tolerance allows you to put hot pots directly on the countertop. One thing that we're seeing is people are putting induction cooktops underneath the stone, so you can achieve a really minimalistic look on your countertop while still being able to use your kitchen. Our porcelain comes in honed and ultra rough finishes. That's something that's unique to Caesarstone. Typically you see a polish finish on porcelain, but this gives you a really natural feel, it's fun and tactile, and we see a lot of people gravitating towards that. We see a lot of people loving porcelain for kitchen countertops because it's a natural choice. It's non-porous, so it's hygienic, even if you go with one of the tactile textures we talked about. Super easy to clean, but with it being so thin, it's great for backsplashes. We also are seeing people get excited about using porcelain outdoors, which is perfect for summer entertaining. Caesarstone can handle whatever life throws at it.
Behind the kitchen, you'll see that is their everyday mudroom. That's off the garage, so that's where the family enters day to day. Once you come in, there's a powder room there, and that's their powder room that they use every day. So it could be a little bit more edgy, a little bit more fun. We did a sink out of a chiseled stone. There's tile on the back wall that has a chevron pattern. The lighting's kind of cool. So yeah, that's their kind of everyday powder room. The whole vibe of the home starts in the front entryway. We wanted it to look like this house could be planted on a coastline in LA or, on the beach somewhere. Again, carrying through that black iron everywhere. We actually did a herringbone inlay of the hardwood there to add some extra oomph. And we designed the table in the front, custom designed the base, and had a quartz top made on top. Just off the main entrance, there is a small den space. We wanted to create this cozy nook, again, that they could kick their feet up and read a magazine. There's an integrated desk area where the kids can do homework, or they could pay bills or send some emails off. And it's filled with sunlight, and I think it's used very often. There's another powder room, their fancy powder room, as we call it. We still had to continue with the aesthetic of the rest of the house, and so we wanted it to be very subtle. We have a plaster fellow named Darren who does these beautiful works of art for us. And so we chose the finish to have little flecks of metals, have little flecks of wood in it. So if you really get close to it, you can see the texture that it gives. And we did a floating vanity made out of quartz. Again, no maintenance, no muss, no fuss. And then because of the size of the ceilings, we had to go with a big oversized round mirror so that it looked to scale. As you walk into the principal bedroom, if you look up, you'll see that we did, again, the hardwood flooring in the ceiling, but kind of in this diamond pattern, and finished that off with a big, oversized light. There's lots of details, but again, remaining quite quiet and subdued. So if you look behind the headboard, there's actually a handmade plaster troweled wallpaper from Philip Jeffries. It's so beautiful and so delicate, and you really need to kind of get close to really understand the beauty. We had some custom built-ins made out of white oak to flank the sides so that they had storage. They came down to nightstands. There's a beautiful arch detail at the top, and again, really pretty hardware on there. As you walk through the his and hers closets, you are hit with the tub and the big oversized fixture and the gauzy white drapes. And then as you look left, you'll see that we've slabbed the shower in quartz. All of the fixtures are matte white, another unique feature. So you'll see the shower hardware, the bath hardware, the faucets, and then they both have their own area to get ready, because I think when you're in a 20+ year relationship, it's nice to be together, and then it's also nice to have your spot to not share toothpaste in the sink. The homeowners wanted all of the kids' bedrooms to be very unique to their own personal style. One connecting thread that they all have are these beautiful vaulted ceilings. And again, we wanted to carry through either oversized lighting or clusters of lighting. So if we start in their youngest son's bedroom, all of the walls and ceilings are shiplapped. He has this very beachy vibe. There's surfers on the wall, and he loves it. I think it works for him. Their daughter's bedroom, we landed on this spot where it was like this very light, airy vibe. There's 3 oversized round pendants made out of feathers up there. So it still follows the vibe of the rest of the home, but it's got its own unique flair. We did a really cool gallery wall for her. We made custom furniture in there. So she has a custom bed, nightstands, and sofa. That sofa can double as a bed when girlfriends sleep over. And I think it's a really nice space. When the homeowners and I sat down to hash out the initial design, we had to think of what age the kids were going to be when they actually moved in, since it was such a couple year process. He's going to be in his later teens and only here for a couple years before he goes off to his next adventure. So we wanted to make it look like it was his first apartment. Like it could be like a loft in New York City or something, very cool, that he could start to bridge the gap between living at home and ready to be out on his own. In the laundry room, we carried through that forest green color on the cabinetry, and then on the floor tile, we had a little bit of fun. We laser cut the word fresh into penny tiles. You can't cut that with a regular saw or they'd start to crumble, so we had to get a laser, but I think it gives you that little pop of fun in there. Looking back on the project, there's nothing that I feel more than pride. And so even today when I came in and the homeowner was here, she's chatting with me, all she kept saying is, I can't believe I live here. I love everything. I love everything is what she keeps saying, and I'm like, I love everything. you know, after spending so much time and effort into a design and build like this to, you know, months and months after you move in to still be like in awe, I think that's the icing on the cake.